Greetings, pot pickers. Welcome to part 5 of the videos, but still on the second module. I think that's about right. So back on with the stacks module. It's had its undercoat now. So spray black, dusting of brown, and then it'll be ready to get the actual colours on. So I'm thinking the pipework, the canisters themselves, the containers, and these pipes might have a bit of colour in them. Everything else will be rusted up, similar to when I made the reclamator. I keep pointing over there because that's where all my series being stored. Nothing much to see there at the moment because it's all clear, ready for my Necromunda module. So when there's a few more on there, we'll have a quick look over there. So that's the next stage on this bad boy. I did manage to get these little lamp holders 3D printed and stuck on to all the LEDs. What I did do, I spoke back in an earlier video about toning down the brightness of the LEDs because they were a bit bright, especially for the underhive where everything's supposed to be a little bit dim and dingy. So what I did is, when I undercoated this with a spray paint, I just didn't mask up the LEDs at all. And then I went back over and I just scraped off the paint off the LEDs in places with my thumb. Just went round, scraped them all off. And that has actually worked out quite nicely. And if I spin that round, I'll just turn the old light, there we go. And especially now, let's move that a bit, with the little lamps holders on them, little lamps, they're there. I think they look quite smart. They look suitably dingy, and I think they look pretty wicked myself. Well, I've got one missing there. I need to stick another one on there. I have to print some more, I think. So that's that all done. That's really good. Again, these STL files in links will be in the description down below for my Figureverse. So there they are. So that's that. That's what we're going to be doing. So I get that painted, that's next. And then we'll be moving on to module 3, which will be, I'm thinking I need a little bit of open ground. Open relative to Necromunda Underhive. So that'll be the next tile. So let's just pop this out of the way. So if I take another wooden base, like so, and what I've got, several lengths of this polystyrene sort of strip here, and what I'm thinking, I'm just going to go around the edges like that, bump, 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 around all 4 edges, and that's going to create, I think, a little. I'll add some water in there and some bits and bobs and some water effects, and I think what I'll do, I'll create like a sump well, like a purification plant, because the Water Guild has just come out and they look fantastic, and I really want to grab hold of some of those models or make some models in that kind of style, kind of like an ogre with a big water tank on his back or something like that and a handler. I think that'd be quite cool, kind of reminiscent of the guy in Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome, on his little bike with his umbrella and his radioactive water. So that's what I'm thinking. So a little ring out there, I'll get some walkways on there, damage them up a bit, make them look a bit tired, fill it in with probably some resin in there, make it a little bit icky, but then some pipes going in to look like it's been sucked out and then taken off somewhere and cleaned up, as clean as it gets in the underhive. Possibly a little bridge area, I think, something to go up, over and down, some pipes round across it. I think that'll look pretty smart. So yeah, that's the plan for module 3, and so we'll be cracking on with that. One thing I did want to show you as well. This STL is also on my Thingiverse, but I've made this little lamp here that can just fit on. Let me get the other tile back up. Let's move that out of the way. Ooh. So I made this. So it's an STL file. You can download it, and what you also need, you'll need a 3-volt button battery and a 3-volt LED. Very cheap. You can pick up like 100 of them, like £4 off Amazon, in various colours as well. You stick it all together. I mean, they're giving it a quick paint job, and then you put your battery in, and then give it a push down, And you've got like a little light there. And you can put, I might glue that under there as well. Just to, let's see if I can hold it up again so you can see that. And then again, that gives us like a nice little sickly light. And these would be great. I'm thinking of just having these all over the underhive of various models as well. And then you can just, all you need to do is just pull the battery up and that stops the connection. So that would be cool as well. I'll do a small video on how you put them together as well. I think that would be good for you. Yeah, so really getting to work on the LEDs and loving doing the 3D files as well. So that's excellent. So first stage, now I know what I'm doing for the next module. First thing, as I say, next stage is to go through one of my junk boxes and pull out some bits and bobs we might use for the module to build it up a bit. Build up some walkways and some detritus and that kind of thing. So let's go for a bit of a rummage. Alright then, here we are. Let's have a bit of a go through one of my boxes of tat and see what we can dig out. I think that's going to be a bit too big. Put that over there. Let's take out some of the bigger items first. I mean, girders, and these are some girders from a sort of, I think these are for like a HO scale electricity pylon. We'll keep hold of them. These things, oh my gosh. The more seasoned among you will probably might recognise these. These were the borders for the old Warhammer movement trays. They were great for making scenery. They came with a big old sheet about that big. On one side it was 20mm squares, the other side was 25mm squares. And these borders, they were great. I wish I had some more of the sheets left over, but sadly I don't. But they could be useful. What else we got? Yep, we got a bag of 3D printed gubbins and some walkways. Definitely. Oh, yep, some sets of death stuff. Now that could be quite good to go either side of like a pipe bridge. So either side of the tank, like the pit, the sump, you know, the sump water, and then I can run some pipes that come out of them. And make like and then put some of the walkway. Oh yes. So let's see if we've got any more of that. So what's the one with the two windows? And the good thing is I've already blocked these off. I think these are from a previous build. So I've already blocked these off. So there's another one. So that's good. So let's see if we can find another 3 of them. Get that to one side. Oh, look at that. Nice double door there. I think we'll use that for something else. Let's put that over there. No, I've got something planned for that. Let's take these out. These are quite big bits. Let's take them out. Take those out. These, I've had these years. These were from a pound shop tractor. Excuse me. It was like, oh yeah, it's a pound shop tractor, and it had like a sort of muck spraying thing at the back, and they were £1. So I chucked everything else. I didn't really want it, and kept hold of these. So they'll be used on the build at some point, I think. Chuck them down there. What else we got coming in? We need some pipe. Well, there we go. Look, we'll have some of them out. I need some pipes. Oh, perfect! Absolutely stunning. That's a complete one of them. Beautiful. Although I think we're going to have to knock out one. If I'm going to have pipes coming out of it, I'm going to get rid of one of these. So, yep, lovely, perfect. I need something to go in there that's fairly flat. But we'll have these pipes out. Little venti thing. Yep, that's a 3D printed part. We'll have that. Toy pipes. We'll keep hold of them. Yep, defo. What else have we got in here? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Copper piping for your plumbing. What's this? Oh, yeah, that would be good. What's that? These are one of my old resin printed, cast. I've got these 3D print years ago in Shapeways when 3D printers weren't commercially available, really. So I've got these done on Shapeways, and then I've got a mould. It's actually, the mould's in the craft box to below. So that will go on there perfectly. And then I can run some pipes out from there. Get rid of that little light. And that gives me a nice big surface to run. Well, yeah, run pipes on it. So I need another one of them. What else we got? Yep. Oh, yeah. If we're going to do a pipe bridge, we're going to need some railings. Fantastic stuff. Oh, look, more of them bits. More of the what are they? The movement tray edges. Yes, perfect. So there you go. So we can do that. And we have some pipes then running across, and then we can run a walkway across there. Perhaps build some steps up either side as well. Then that'll be fantastic. What else? What else? Will? Yeah, more. I need more of these things. I want the copper ones really. They've got more detail on them, so let's have a few of them out. These copper piping things, by the way, you can pick them up in, well, virtually anywhere. I mean, even Wilkinson's do these, and you get like 15 for a couple of quid. They're really quite cheap, actually. And then if you grab some plastic 15mm pipe, there you go, and then they just, there you go, pop on like that. And then use some of my 3D print files that I've got in Thingiverse to just decorate the pipes a bit, and you are off and running to make some quite nice pipes. What else we got? There we go, perfect. So yeah. So this is a 3D printed part I'm talking about. That would go over a bit of pipe like that. It will go over. There we go, like that. And then, if you can see that, like that. And then, yeah, you run them along and you get some nice pipe work there. So, defo have that out. Oh, bits falling everywhere. What else? Ooh. That go in there. Keep it out. That's an old till roll. Old till roll. Back from the days I owned a shop. What else we got in here? Oh, nice bit of piping. Brilliant. I think, yeah, lots of different... another one of those Imperial Eagle buttress things. Lovely. Oh, yes. Yes. Lego ribbed pipe. Some of that. That's from one of these telescopes. So we'll have that. That could be quite a cool pipe fitting or something. We'll do something with that. Flange would be quite good for something, I think. Oh, knocking everything over. That's something that's already got some pipes on it. That's probably something I've started building a few years back. We'll have all of that. That's good. Excuse me. More vent. More on this. Yes, I got. What else we got? Oh, there's a. Hello. Oh, that's very good. Very good. So loads of these. Look at these. These are the old Cities of Death ceilings and walls and things. Floors. Yeah, defo. Definitely have some of that. I think one of them would be good. Hang on. So this is a resin cast from a Hearst art mould of like a sci-fi floor. I'm just wondering. This is my Oh, look at that. That's sweet. So have some of them going on top of it, go around the outside edge. Yeah, and then I think a bit of glue and tile grout to give it a bit of structure, and then them on top. Oh yeah. Luckily I've got a mould of them, so I can cast more of them should I need them, but there's another one there, because I want to really use up what I've got in these boxes, really. This is the whole idea of this table build, is to use up this junk that I've been accumulating for years. So I'm going to keep on digging through this, and I shall probably make a start on module 3, and we'll come back to that, and we'll take it from there. See you in a bit. Alrighty guys, here we go. So, pretty much done on the stacks, the painting. Gone through, the containers have all been coloured and weathered. I've kept this flooring and this pipe the same colour as I did on the previous tile on the reclamator. So it's just a nice visual tie-in to that tile as well. And obviously I'm going to carry that over onto any other tile. So any other tiles I used, the Cities of Death floors, they'll be green. I think the pipes will be green, and that way that'll visually tie all of the tiles together, which would be quite nice. I mean, the rust section will as well, but I just think if you pick something like that to follow, it kind of just lends a little bit more continuity to the tiles. So as I'm going through and just doing the rusting on this one, what I thought I would do is I'd show you quickly how I do my rust. I showed you in the previous video how I do the weathering with the oil washes, but on this one I've left a couple of the tiles left on the floor, and I'll give you a quick once over on the rust. So this one here, these ones have had the first stage. This one hasn't had any on it yet. So this is just the brown spray I use straight over the black undercoat. It's not a complete covering, so a little like dust, so you do get some of the black in and around it. But the first thing to do is get yourself like a little palette. I've got this little flower pot. You put flower pots, and that's where you put the water. So that's on there. And I only use 2 paints, 2 acrylics. I've not been able to find a sort of cheaper version of these because the shops are still shut, so I can't get out and have a look. But I've heard the Works do a version of this one very similar to this. So this is Mornfang Brown. No, actually, this is Doomball Brown. Oh, my mistake. So this is Doomball Brown, not Mornfang Brown. And then I've got some Riser Rust, both from Citadel. So first thing to do is always go with lighter colour first. Get some of that and splap it in your palette. Give it a bit of a mix around. Spread it out a bit and get it spread out on your brush. Bit of a shake. Get your Doomball. A little bit of that on there, mix it in to give you a sort of orangey brown. Doesn't matter if it's not fully mixed, that kind of just adds to it a bit. So just tap it off a little bit, and then literally, let's move you around a bit so hopefully you can see. There we go. And then literally just go in and stipple. That's all I do. Just stipple it in and around. If you need a bit more paint, just pick a bit more paint up. Just stipple onto the area you're going to rust. And you can do this on here. Let's put a bit on there. All the rust has been done in exactly the same way. I mean, look at my brush. My brush is knackered. It's a horrible, knackered old brush that I use. I mean, this brush is about 12 years old. I think it's one of the old Games Workshop highlighting brush or dry brushing brushes they did years ago. So it's properly knackered. So that's what you want. You either want a really old knackered brush or just get yourself a cheap one from the pound shop or the Works or somewhere like that. They do like packs of brushes for like £2 or £3. And you can just tap it on, and that's all I do. So that's that. Now, it looks a little lighter than these tiles because obviously wet paint always dries slightly darker than your colour you apply. And then all I'll do this on the bits that are dry, wait for it to dry, and then open that up, a bit more Riser Rust onto your palette, tap it off, and then onto one of the ones that are dry again. A bit more stippling, a little bit lighter. You don't have to go as heavy on this one. Just stipple that on, like so. And that is literally how I do my rust. There's nothing more to it, really. I mean, obviously, you can go right into it. You know, I could get in there with some more oranges. I could mix some black in with the Doomball to give me some, just to build up some variations of tones. But this gives me 3 variations. And if you leave some of the black from the undercoat, you'll get 4 variations of tone and colour on your rust. Now, probably you're all saying, "Oh, I've seen it. You could do a bit more to it, couldn't you?" Yeah, of course you could. Well, yeah, you're right. I can. I could go with weathering powders, and I could really take these right up. I could dry brush a bit of silver in there. Really go to town in it. The reason I'm not doing that is I've got at least 9 tiles to do in exactly the same way. So this is just for speed, really. Consistency throughout the each tile, so they all match, and speed. I mean, that's one thing you've got to do, especially when you're painting scenery. Well, any sort of painting, but more specifically for scenery, and more especially for doing something that's really detailed, like the Games Workshop stuff. I mean, the sceneries, their stuff's beautiful, right? All the skulls and pipes and wires and what have you. But, you know, if you're going to paint a skull on one piece of scenery, every other piece of that scenery that you use, so say take for instance the what they called the columns, you know, you've got to do that on every piece. You can't just paint one skull, you've got to do all the skulls. So that is why I've gone with this. I mean, I can revisit at a later stage once I've got all my tiles done, and I might do that. And then again, I might not, but there we go. So that's basically how I do my rust, guys. Sorry, went a bit preachy at the end there. Apologies for that. So that's how I do my rust. As I say, Rise of Rust, Doomball Brown. When the shop's open, hopefully in about 5 weeks' time here in the UK, I'll go out and do a bit of shopping. And if I can come up with a cheaper version of it, and I'll show you. Okay, guys? Thanks very much. All right, everyone. There you go. The stack's done. Tile 2 in the bag. Well happy with this. Really, oh, sorry. I just got to do this. You know, come on. Come on. Yeah. Got to do a bit of the old lighting. That was one of the bits I'm really chuffed with, was the lights on this thing. Really, really brings it alive. Yeah, really pleased with this one. You know, I've expanded the colour palette for all of the builds now to include the yellow, and on the little battery holder, that's actually a turquoise, which looks quite nice when it's all with a bit of rust on it. So that's quite nice. So I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colours for accenting the underhide models, and then obviously I've still got the rust to go on with that. So yep, that can go up over on the shelf over there. Once I've got a few more tiles done, we'll have a little look at the shelf. So yeah, there you go. Really happy, really happy with that. Love this little pipe network as well. I'm going to be carrying that through to some other tiles as well. So next video will be in about a week's time. I've already started building tile number 3. So that's good. Still haven't got a decent name for it yet. You know, we've got the reclamator, we've got the stats. We now need a quite a catchy name for that one as well. So when you see that video, I'll ask for some comments and ask some comments down below. There'll be a few more 3D prints that I'll probably do for it, and for the rest of the builds. So I'll sling them down in the comment section, no, the description below, and you can use them. It's going to have lights, so that's good. That's all worked out. Great. This is a great project. Really enjoying myself, guys. I hope you are too. I've seen my subscriptions grow by 50% since starting this project, which has been brilliant. Really good. So thank you if you've already subscribed. If you're watching this series and you have subscribed, just click that button for me. It takes a second. It will mean a real lot to me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Glad you're enjoying the series. Build on. Take care. See you soon.